Fall is in the air. It's around 10:45 here in western North Carolina in late September, and it's about 65 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperatures are really cooling down, and the little garden up here is turning into a jungle. This time of year, everything is growing nice. I'm trying to hang on to some of the summer plantings as well as move in some of the fall plantings. So I have a lot out here growing. So I'll just show you real quick what is growing. Of course, this is the sweet bay laurel. I hope to transplant this out into the actual yard next year, maybe close to a house to see if I will tolerate my climate and survive the winter. We'll just have to see about that. It's just getting a little bit big. I may take a couple of cuttings first to just so I have a smaller plant in case it does not make it. Okay, and then I am also working on watering the plants that I may or may not bring indoors. I'm watering them with mosquito bits to kill any of the fungus gnat larvae that might be in the soil, because I want to bring them in, but I don't want to bring in the fungus gnats. So I am going to water them today with that, and I'm doing that now about every 10 days or so. I also need to feed my entire garden because I have not fed it in about 10 days to 2 weeks. And then the bush bean plants are showing some signs of rust this time of year, as I showed y'all in the last video, but they're still producing a lot of beans on here. Okay, these are the little purple potted beans in here. Have the yellow. I used up all of those seeds. I couldn't stand to just throw them away, even though jade bush bean is my favorite bean to grow because it has a lot of disease resistance. And then, of course, peppers on the top tier. A lot of peppers are doing great back here. Of course, they do better, as I've told you guys before, in my lower driveway. But they're hanging on up here. And then I pulled out most of the tomatoes, or at least cut them down because the stems were browning and they were pretty much dying on me. So, but this one is hanging in there, actually trying to produce a few more tomatoes. So we'll let that one sit in there and do its thing right there. And eggplant down here on the bottom. I'll just grab that little one today, saute it with maybe some peppers, and that'll be a nice snack, as well as grab a cucumber. And I like to quarter those for a snack in the afternoon, and just dip them in a little dressing after I've chilled them in the refrigerator. I like them cold. Okay, lots of Tulsi basil up here. And then we have, of course, the nasturtiums. Okay, and these are wonderful this time of year. They're just growing everywhere. I like to put this planter in front of my kitchen window so that when I'm at the sink I can see the flowers, and then when I come out here I can actually smell them. This particular light orange or gold nasturtium smells like a rose, so they are very fragrant and I really enjoy them. And just so we remember, I might grow the seed, but this is all the Lord's creation. It's just a beautiful thing, and that's why I just love to come out to my garden sometimes and just sit and listen and smell and rest. So it's a beautiful thing to be surrounded in the Lord's creation, and that's what having a garden, in my opinion, is all about. Okay, and then over here we have the dahlias. They were struggling for a while, and I made sure to fill up the bottom of the container with water because they do require quite a bit of water, that's my understanding. And I can drain that water from the bottom. I've shown you that on another video, how you can drain the water out of the bottom so it doesn't get stagnant and turn anaerobic. You want to make sure you're changing the water in the bottom of some of these tomato planters, which is obviously I'm using this for dahlia planter. So anyway, there you have that. And then on the side of my deck I have, of course, the beets. I need to move those out. I was hoping some more of them would pop up, but I think I have about at least 6 or 7 I could put into a tier. So that'll be one tier of beets. I have scallions over here looking pretty good. I need to feed those so they'll start getting some good growth on them before it gets too cold. They survive, of course, the winter for me, but they need to be pretty mature before they go into the really cold weather. Beautiful little container there. Got the sweet potato vine falling over the side. The spinach is doing great. I had some arugula. Looks like it reseeded in there, or maybe I just had a stray seed. I had a lot of spinach come up because I tried to go back and reseed some of the pockets that did not come up, and I had a lot right here, so I'll try to thin those out, pull them out, and then maybe replant them in some of the pockets where I'm getting such spotty germination. Spinach does not like to be transplanted, so we'll see how it handles that. And it looks like I have some type, maybe a watermelon seed coming up there. That definitely will not make it. And of course my arugula, which I'm trying to protect now with the barrier cloth, the insect cover. I opened this up like 3 days ago, and a cabbage butterfly flew out. I was very disappointed, and the only reason why that happened is because I covered it when it was already on there. So I really probably will end up spraying that with BT to control the worms. I'll put some more seed in there, and I think because arugula grows so fast, I should have some into and through October. So that'll be great if I can get that going, get that under control. More nasturtiums, of course, bush beans that are succumbing to a lot of disease over here. This is probably the container I've enjoyed most this year. Parsley, scallions, just nice to be able to come out here anytime and pick a few things to throw in some rice or whatever it is I'm cooking. And then more dahlias about to burst into bloom. I am looking forward to that. And then we have down here, I put maybe 3 bush bean seeds down here, the jade bush beans. And you can see how nice and healthy they are because they're disease resistant. And then I have some I need to pull here. I need to pick these maybe today. Throw those in as a side dish. There's still blooms popping out over here. And that's a real nice, easy way to grow a few bush bean plants. Now I would show you guys my front garden, but it was eaten up by deer. This is the first time I've had deer visiting the yard since I've been here for 15 years. I've seen some, go across the yard, this and that, but they've not really eaten my garden. So anyway, there's not much in my other garden, except for down here they have not found my peppers yet, and I hope they do not find my peppers, and I don't think they'll eat my citrus, but I hear deer eat everything, so I wouldn't be surprised if I walked out here and all of my little calamondins were gone in my peppers. So anyway, there you have it. I hope you guys are enjoying these nice cool down in the temperatures. Thank you so much for watching, and have a beautiful day.